We're live. I know that's probably
Hey,
like
hey.
people always say, dang, every time she starts a video, she's like, we live. But y'all got to tell the other people that's on here with me that we're live so that they'll know that we're live. But welcome,
Yes.
welcome to
Welcome.
Think Outside the Red Box. We are here
Yes.
every Monday at 7:30 p.m. We are here to inspire you, teach you, motivate you, push and pull you, and encourage you into purpose. We are here
Yes.
every Monday to talk about everyday things that keep us held and down. So we're here to enlighten you. We're here to make you feel better. We're here to let you know that there is a tomorrow. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is not the end.
Yes.
You just got to keep on pushing, and we're here to help you push through. And we're here to help you think forward. Think outside
Yeah.
the red box. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here every Monday. And as always, we need that participation from you. So if you are watching us live, go ahead and participate. Give us your comments, say hi, give us some feedback, join in. Don't leave me hanging. Don't Please don't leave me hanging. All right, y'all. So today's topic is it's okay to not be okay. And I thought this was so relevant because sometimes we hear things and it's not, well, at least for me, I'll speak for me. Sometimes I hear something and I'm just like, okay. But then when I hear it again from another person and then I hear it again from another person, I believe that's God talking to me. It's an echo. It's an echo. And he wants me to get it, right? And so I had someone tell me it's okay to not be okay. Then I seen a video talking about it's okay to not be okay. Then I had someone from another episode of Think Outside the Red Box. Hey, Asia. And they told me that people need to know it's okay to not be okay. And so I decided I needed to talk about it's okay to not be okay because I've been there, done that here recently. I know y'all see me all chipper, all enthusiastic, and don't think I'm not happy to be here. Don't think I'm not happy to talk to you. But there are some days when the camera's not in my face and I'm by myself and I'm thinking and I'm meditating and I'm reflecting and I am just not okay. Dion, have you ever felt like that?
Oh my God, I had a day to day. Well, this weekend actually, it was just a crazy weekend. It just seemed like it was spiraling out of control. And then here I wake up today thinking I shouldn't have gotten out of bed. I should have stayed in the bed and just called in sick today because this has been a blah day for me. And then feeling like, well, I should not be feeling like this. I woke up this morning. God bless me. I could see another day. You know, why am I feeling like this? But I just haven't been feeling well all weekend and just wondering, God, why do I have to go through this? Why do I have to have these breathing issues? Why? And I just was having this pity party and feeling like, oh my God, now it's my health. Sometimes it's your children, sometimes it's your husband, sometimes it's your friends, sometimes it's that raggedy job. And for me, it was
Sometimes
my
it's them
health.
daggone hormones.
Well, I don't have too many hormone issues because maybe I don't have a whole lot of them, but yeah, hormones can do it as well. But sometimes you have to get yourself out the funk because it comes and it hovers like a toothache and it just lingers and it just has you all down and out. So yeah, I had to tell myself it's okay not to be okay because Angelina, we always good for everybody. We good for the husbands, we good for the kids, we good for the friends, we good for the people on the job. And then when it comes down to us, if we not okay, everybody out of sync because they feel like If you're not okay,
Mhm.
something must be wrong.
Right. So y'all have to know out there, listen, we are emotional creatures. We are human.
Yes.
We're not going
Yeah.
to be on our A game every day. Things happen. I mean, things happen in life. And everybody knows in 2020, there's a lot of people that 2020 has not served them well. And there's some people where 2020 has served them very well. But we've all have had to deal with some things here in 2020 in this pandemic, right? We've had people who've lost jobs, we've had people who've lost loved ones, and we've just have people who have lost their, how do I say it? I guess will, their fight, they didn't know how to pivot, and they kind of lost their fight. And we have to know that life brings us challenges, life brings us unexpected things, and sometimes it's going to take us a minute to figure it all out and be able to adapt and move on. And you have to know that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have a moment. It's okay to go in your quiet place and cry it out. It's okay, and we can't continue to let people make us feel like it's not. I mean, we're human. We don't all react the same way. We don't all handle situations the same way. We don't all see things the same way. That's why we're not going to have the same reaction. And so we just got to know it's nothing wrong with you. It's nothing wrong with you. There's been some days I've woken up on, they say, the wrong side of the bed, and I just am not feeling it. Like, the headspace is not there. I can't think straight. I'm just feeling emotional. At any point, I can just feel like I'm gonna cry. And I just need my moment. And I just need to be allowed to feel whatever it is I'm feeling, regardless of how somebody else thinks I should feel, or how they think I should act, or how they think I should snap out of it. I'm allowed to feel how I feel. And I want to tell you all out there, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to cry it out. It's okay to yell if you want to. Kick and scream your way out of this thing. Okay, it's okay. I give you permission. Just don't hurt. Just don't hurt nobody in the process. All right, my people out there watching, talk to me. Talk to me. Have you ever had those days? Have you ever had those days where you're just emotional? Things are just not going right, or whatever it may be, and you just feel like you're not being allowed to have that moment. I mean, we have that at work, a lot, and go to work and we're expected to be on it every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, however much you work. We got to be on it. We can't have no bad day. We can't have no moment where we are maybe snap at a coworker or someone on the phone, or a day where we're not being productive, or else we're being called into that office, right? Because you are not meeting quota, you're not meeting the numbers, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And their bottom line is, I want to work. Doesn't matter how you feel or what you think or what you may be going through. Now, if you have I think, good manager slash leader, they're going to notice that maybe you're not yourself and ask you, are you okay? If you have a bad manager, they'll probably call you in there and they're about ready to correct you, this, that, and the third, write you up, whatever, because they don't care about how you feel, right? We got to be positive, enthusiastic, and at all times at work. We're not given any kind of leeway to not respond right, to not be a team player. And reality is, We are human beings, and we're not going to always be on our A game. And you have to know and not be so hard on yourself if you have a day, a week, or even a month, even a year that you're not on your A game, depending on what it is that's causing you to not be okay. I don't know where this fly came from. I'm sorry, y'all. I hope I don't do this the whole half hour. All right, Dion, what you got for me?
Well, I was thinking about, grieving. Sometimes we're not, we have different times when things happen. You talked about the pandemic and people losing people and not being able to go to funerals or not being able to go to wakes or not being able to be with the family because of the social distancing. And people are, people that died in January or in February and March are just having grieving processes. And sometimes it's okay to not be okay when you're grieving a loved one or a lost one. Oh, I just had a fly. A loved one or a lost one. It must be fruit flies or something. But it's okay when you go through that grieving process to not be okay and allow yourself to have those moments. So much has happened in such a short period of time that we find ourselves here at the end of the year, with being in the home so long and having cabin fever and not being able to be with our friends or to go to that restaurant and have a good time or whatever way we were connecting. And here we are at the end of the year, and still some of us are not being able to connect. And some of those things cause you grieving moments. So it's a lot of things that can cause us, or as human. And you said that word, and I need to keep on bringing it back as human beings, because some of us are touchy feely and we need to reach out and touch somebody and we haven't
Mhm.
been able to do that, then it's a
Right.
grieving process. So yeah, that's kind of what my thought was. And it's okay to have those feelings or not feel bad, or to for somebody to try to make you feel bad for feeling bad, because that's where you are,
They're just not understanding. And so, I was thinking about this too. Looking at my notes that I have here. And so, as many individuals are not in the mental space to choose positivity over negativity. Life for them may be one disappointment after another, and it's hard for them to find the good when they deal with too much bad, right? So, we have people who it's just one thing after another thing after another thing. It's like they just can't catch a break. And so it's hard when you keep having one bad thing after another bad thing to be able to stay positive. And, and without us really knowing what people are going through, it's kind of hard to just tell them to get over it, or pick themselves back up. We got a comment here. It says, absolutely, especially being a mom of two all day, plus working full time in a hospital. I'm constantly being pulled. And I have days where I'm like, I'm not answering the phone today. I'm not in it. Asia, I've been there. And
Exactly. I
I
feel
have
you.
been there. I've looked at that phone, and no disrespect to anybody, but I'm like, I can't talk right now. And she says, and that's okay. My shower's in my happy place. I cry it out. And after that, I'm back to being myself for the most part. I can't give up. I have two little girls watching me, but I tell them mommy needs a minute.
That's
Literally,
right.
it's hard
Get your
sometimes.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, get the minutes.
Get your
But
minutes.
sometimes I've been a single mother. I'm married now, but I've been a single mother. And sometimes we don't have a chance to not be okay. When you got a little one and she's got two little ones that you've got to think about and you've got to take care of, and you don't have time to not snap out of it. You don't have time to, have your moment. You've got to pick that thing up because you've got two little ones to think about, right? And so then how do we ever find our time? How do we ever work through whatever we're feeling? And I think that sometimes is an issue because we're so in survival mode. I know I
Yes.
was when I was so in survival mode that there was a lot of times I didn't even have time to feel what I'm feeling, let alone tell somebody what I'm feeling or even know what I'm feeling because I've got to go. I've got to go. I got to go to work. I got this child I
Mm-hmm.
got to take care of. I got to feed her. I got to put her to bed. I got to give her a shower. I got to do this routine all over again. Right. And so sometimes even, and it's not just single mom. I mean, married people have that sometimes
Oh
too, but
yeah.
I just can relate to Asia from a single mother's perspective. And all you do is have that moment to cry in that shower. And when that shower's over, you got to pick your face up for
Yes,
the betterment of
yes.
your children, right? Because you don't want them to see you looking like this. And so you got to pick yourself up for the betterment of them and move on. But how do you ever deal with it? Because if you don't deal with it, it's gonna fester.
It
It's
is.
gonna, as we talk about, become an infection of the heart, an infection
Yeah.
of the mind. And next thing we know, because we're not addressing our emotions and how we feel and allowing ourselves to feel this thing and work through it, now we've got mental and emotional issues. And then we're sitting here wondering, well, why do I act this way? Because you never addressed some of those things that you should address.
That's the
Some of
issue.
those heartaches that you were going through while you was taking care of them children, and some of those hard times that you were going through, and the rejection you might have been feeling, and the not feeling supported. And you know we, as single mothers, we go through a lot of feeling not supported, or there's no one to help me, when there really sometimes is, but some people don't. And or just that I got to do it by myself kind of thing. Now we're feeling bad because it didn't work out, and in some ways I failed my child because now they don't have a two-parent household. And we just send ourselves through all kind of mental anguish, right? We got to deal with those things, people. We got to deal with those things before they turn bad.
And let me share this from even a marital standpoint. With the husband in the household with two parents, sometimes it can get difficult when your husband is the sole provider and you're there taking care of the kids, and that's all you do all day long is take care of the house, you take care of the kids, you cook, you clean, you're the sous chef, you're the maid, and then your husband come home and he have needs. So
Mhm.
it's a combination of just stuff, and then you at your breaking point sometimes where all you need is that few minutes to cry or to scream or to take a shower or whatever. I remember one time I just with all the things that I just said, my husband was working like an hour and a half away and he wouldn't get home until late in the afternoon. So one night I was in the room crying. He was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "No, I'm not okay." He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Today it was just a day that was too much. I just couldn't handle it today." He was like, "Don't break on me." So I think he was scared I was going to have an emotional breakdown and leave him with these two kids. But people do have breakdowns because sometimes it gets to be just too much and they don't have outlets. So
Right.
that's real, but it's okay to have those breakdowns. You need those emotional cries, or you need that 5 or 10 minutes just to keep you going, just to help keep your sanity intact sometimes.
Right. We crying is good for you. It's healthy for you. It lets you kind of get it out. It doesn't make it necessarily go away, but I don't know, crying for me is like a relief, and then
Yes.
getting strength at the same time,
Yes.
right? I get to release something, but then I'm gaining some strength at the same time. But
Absolutely.
I think this is a good segue into talking about the 5 things that, if you are someone who is not okay, first, let me make sure you read what I say. It's okay to not be okay. All right. But here's the 5 things that I want anyone out there watching that's not okay to kind of think about as your process of not being okay, because you do have to process what you're feeling. All right. And so the first thing is acknowledge. Can we acknowledge that you're not okay? Acknowledging that you're not okay is the first step of being honest with yourself that I'm not where I need to be. I'm not feeling how I should feel. You got to acknowledge that and be honest with yourself that you're just not okay. That's number one. We can't do anything until you can admit that you're not okay. Any comments about that one, Dion?
Yeah, absolutely. Because see, what happens is when you admit to yourself that you're not okay, you have something to work with. It's just when you tell yourself the lies, is that it festers and it becomes something more emotional than it should be. Then you need to take our emotional being class, because then we need to help you unpack some things. So
Right.
it's okay to
Stop
be
lying
honest.
to yourself.
Yes, it's okay to be honest with yourself and be truthful about it, because if not, your emotions, you're gonna be in an emotional whirlwind for the next 5 years and not know why. And then it is gonna bring you right back to this time period and moment. You're gonna have to come right back to it and deal with it at a later time. But we're here for you if you do it to yourself. We're here for you.
Yes, we got a comment, but I'm gonna hold that comment because it's a good comment. So I'm gonna come back to it. Number two, feel the emotion and give it a name. Okay, feel what you're feeling. I teach in my class to let it run through your body. Okay, stop. We don't want to feel pain as humans. That's just, we don't want to feel pain. And so what we try to do is we try to mask things up and close things up and run from it. But what you really have to do is let it run a course through your body, because it's going to be released. I mean, if you just stop and just feel that thing, just like crying is releasing something and is strengthening something, to allow yourself to feel the pain you're feeling, whether it's in your heart, you got to cry it out, your head hurt, whatever it may be. Feel that thing and let it run a course through your body, right? And acknowledge, what am I feeling in this moment? We've got to be self-aware. Okay, why, what am I feeling in this moment? Am I anxious? Am I frustrated? Am I disappointed? Am I angry? Am I jealous? Am I whatever? Am I being bitter? Like, what are you feeling? And give it a name so that you can remember what that, what that is when you're feeling it. Um, and then number three, ask yourself, why do you feel this way? All right, this is part of the process of healing. All right, it's the first, acknowledge that you have something, the pain. Then you want to feel the pain and name it, and then we're going to determine, well, where did it come from? Where did it come from? Is it stemming from something someone did to me? Is it stemming from, the feelings I'm feeling about myself? Maybe, there's times, I'm not okay because I'm feeling inadequate, and I am putting pressure on myself to be perfect. And then when I'm not perfect or things are not going my way, then I'm feeling inadequate and I'm not feeling myself. And then I have to stop and ask myself, though, well, where is that coming from? Why are you feeling inadequate? Why are you doubting yourself? Like, what did you hear? What did somebody say? Is some things come from your past that is still creeping up to make you doubt yourself? Go back and deal with that thing, because sometimes we think we've dealt with a thing and we really haven't dealt with a thing. So you got to identify where it's coming from so you can go back and cut that thing off at the root, so it won't keep coming back and haunting you later in your life. Dion, you look like you had something to say.
No, I was just gonna say, we allow things to fester in our lives. Something that somebody said or something that somebody did, and then we think we have to match up to what people think about us or how they feel about us. Because you talked about being perfect and how sometimes what other people say, we allow that to be a reflection, and then we try to live those things out, and then we find ourselves in emotional ruts, because here I am trying to be what you want me to be instead of trying to be what God has called me to be. So
Right.
sometimes we have to define that and make sure that we understand that we live in solely to please God and not man. Because it's easy to
Exactly.
do. It's easy to do. Our parents sometimes want us to be great because they vicariously wanted to live their lives through us. So they thrust us into things, to doing things, and to be better and to be great, not recognizing our strengths or our weaknesses. So we have to be careful, even when we're molding and we're trying to push our children forward. Can they handle some of those things? So we have to make sure that we're not creating emotional issues for people as well.
All right. Number 4, come to terms with your emotions and work through them. All right. So I kind of already told you that. Like, you're going to acknowledge it, you're going to feel it, you're going to give it a name, you're going to ask yourself where it comes from, and then you're just going to allow yourself to kind of work through this thing. And that's the whole, feeling it, reflecting, going back and doing the work you need to do to work through it and work past it. It's one thing that we're working through something and we're feeling it, but now we've got to get the tools and the techniques and the methods that we need, or the resources that we need to apply it so we can get through it. Okay. And so we can get past it. All right. And then number 5, seek counseling if you're struggling. So many of us are out there suffering in silence, and it's just not healthy. It's not healthy for your body. It's not healthy for your mind. It's not healthy for your heart. It's just not healthy. So, if you find yourself not able to work through it on your own, then certainly seek counseling. You about to say something, Dion?
I was gonna say, and it's okay because see, one thing we learning how to do is to unbecome some of those things that we've taught ourselves to become, and when we're doing that, things begin to unravel. So if you need help, don't, as black folks, as African Americans, whatever we want to call ourselves, we are the worst when it comes down to seeking help because we think, because in so many families we're taught not to talk about certain things because some things are good to talk about. We have secrets. And because families have secrets, they carry those secrets to their deathbeds, and it comes out in different ways and manners and health issues and mental issues and things. We are the worst when it comes down to those things. Seek help, get you some help. Don't allow yourself to continue to stay in that mode or that frame of mind, because guess what? You teaching that to your family, to your children, to your friends. You're teaching who you are to those people, and sometimes those are not good things and good values we're teaching. So we have to unbecome those things. Seek that help if you need it, please.
Yes. So
It's not a bad thing.
we do. We have to get out of this mindset and get rid of this stigma we have associated with getting therapy. Therapy, counseling, whatever you want to call it, does not mean that you're crazy. It does not mean that you're mental. It does not, and even if it does, I mean, even if that is your issue, so what? I mean, get the help you need. We've got to stop worrying about, again, we've got to be unbothered. We've got to stop worrying about what other people think and what other people have to say, and think about our own well-beings. And this kind of leads me into the comment I was trying to say. I didn't do this on purpose though, but we got to think about our own well-being. You're right. Okay. And so the comment was, Asia was saying how she plans vacations every month, small getaways for just her and her partner, and they value the self-time, grown-up time. And I feel like everybody should plan something for them, be selfish about you. And Asia, I agree. I agree. There, you sometimes, have to be selfish, especially when it comes to your mental and emotional well-being and making sure that you are okay. Now, selfish is not a good thing when you don't never consider someone else, but you can't even begin to consider other people when you're not healthy, when you're not mentally,
True.
emotionally healthy. So you do have to take your time for yourself. And I believe in me time. I really do believe in me time. And I'm just going to share this little tidbit. But back when I was uh, not a wife or a mother, and sometimes I still try to do it now that I am a wife and a mother, and they ain't always agreeing with me. But when I would have my it's not okay days, and I knew I wasn't okay. And when I know I'm not okay, I know I'm not the nicest person to be around. I recognize that. So I would take that time for myself, and I would go get me my favorite food, and which always included French fries, and me a nice lemonade, and go watch me a nice good movie by myself. And that was always the best time spending time by myself. Now that I'm a mother and a wife, it's kind of hard, but I do try. I encourage them to go out without me. Y'all go ahead without me. I'll just
So,
stay here. And then, I still get a favorite treat and then watch me a movie. But yes, you gotta do some things for yourself. All right, before we go, because it's 8:01, I do have four things, instructions for you all out there that are dealing with someone who's not okay, working with someone who's not okay, loving someone who is not okay. These are four things I want you to keep in mind when you are handling someone who is not okay. All right. If you don't take anything from what I say tonight, please listen to these four things. All right, because it's very, very important when dealing with someone who's not okay. And the first thing, meet them where they are. All right. I see you shaking your head, Dion. Go ahead.
no, I mean, it's so true. Sometimes we want to change people or we want them to fit in the quote unquote stereotypical box. Oh, you got this. You can do this. It's okay. No, it's not. Sometimes it's just not okay. Meet people where they are. Have the mercy or the compassion because you never know your day might come. And if it comes, you're going to want somebody to meet you where you are and be understanding. So, let's try to promote people to have that time to get what they need so that they can walk away whole and not walk away continuing to be broken.
Exactly. We got to be more empathetic about what people are going through, what they may be dealing with. And just because you may have not gone through it, we just got to be a little empathetic and understanding of where they are. All right. Number two, this is a biggie. Number two is a biggie. I gotta say that, all right? Y'all pay attention here, okay? Because some of y'all are messing up, dealing with people who've got issues, dealing with people who are not okay, and you're doing some of these things. And number two is a biggie. Don't be dismissive with your words. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Stop telling people to just get over it. Stop telling people it's no big deal. Stop telling them that they should be over it by now. Like, again, can we have not only empathy of which is understanding of where they are, but can we have some sympathy as to where they
Mhm.
are and be a little bit more gentle with your words? Um, Again, some people have, as we said earlier, um, one bad thing after another bad thing after another bad thing has happened, and the positivity is just not there. It has to be built or rebuilt in order for them to be there. And for you to just think that they should just get over it, that's not fair. That's not fair to them. Don't be dismissive with your words. Don't tell them to snap out of it. You know, just kind of don't dismiss how they're feeling, because that's only going to make them feel even worse than they already feel for you to dismiss how they're feeling.
And sometimes, Angelina, we have to, instead of being dismissive, sometimes we just need to be a listening ear. We don't have to say anything. Sometimes you just need to listen. Just hear them out, let them get it out and say what they need to say. And or if you don't know what to say, just say, "Okay, I'll be praying with you," or pray about it. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. So that way you don't have to put no words to it. You don't have to dismiss them. You can let them have what they need.
That brings me to number three, which you just said. Allow them to feel the emotion. And
Yes.
like you said, they don't have to say anything, but just can you let them vent? Sometimes some people just, again, we need to get it out. We just need to get it out. We need to release that thing, whether it's crying, whether it's through our voice. We've got to give it some kind of sound, and we just need to vent sometimes. And what's sometimes disturbing is you're just trying to get your feelings out, but then you've got this person that got all these things to say of what you should have did, or how you should have act, or how you shouldn't feel that way, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. And it's like, really? I just kind
Right.
of let people feel the emotion. Come back later. All right. Let them feel what they're feeling. Let them go through what they're going through. Let them work through this. And then later, at the right time, you can give them some healthy advice. Okay. Again, don't tear them down. Don't be dismissive, and don't beat them while they're down, but give them some, healthy advice later. All right. The last one, then we're out of here because we're over our time. But number four, don't expect someone to heal on your
Oh my
time.
God. Mm.
Uh, I don't even know that I need to explain that one.
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. All right. We all deal with things differently because we're different human beings. God made us all in his likeness, but he gave us all different gifts and talents and characteristics and personalities. We come from different backgrounds and different parents and different educational backgrounds, and we're all different. All right. Our DNA is different, our fingerprints is different. And how one person handles something is not how someone else is going to handle it. Everybody's not going to react to things the same. And when we get to thinking that people should react like us and feel like us, that's not, again, that's not fair to them. That's not fair to them. Allow a person to feel their emotion. Don't expect them to react the way you do. And certainly don't expect them to heal on your timeline. It's not your timeline. It's not your process. It's their healing process. And that's between them and God, how long they're going to go through this process. That's not for you to judge, and that's not for you to choose, and it's not for you to define. Don't do that to them. It only makes it worse. All right. I think I've preached enough. All right. Anything else, Dion? Any closing comments before we let the people go?
Yes, ma'am. Just want to say my old saying, you teach who you are. If you don't like what you're teaching, you got the power to change it. Change it. Teach something different. Peace.
All right, you all. I want to thank you so much for tuning into another Think Outside the Red Box. I appreciate your participation. We are here every Monday at 7:30, so please do join us. Join in the conversation. Again, we are here to teach you, inspire, motivate, encourage, push, and pull and heal you into your purpose. I know that's not
Yes.
there. I had to add that. Probably need to go ahead and add that. But we are here
Yes.
to help you heal into your purpose. So thank you so
Yes.
much for tuning in. Come back again. We'd love to have you. You all have a good evening. Be unbothered.
Peace.